Let's dig more into this parallel economy. It's just so exciting. So politics is a waste of time and effort and energy. You're only slowing it down. You have the exit and build strategy. So like, let's exit these legacy institutions of education, finance, health, politics, et cetera, and then go build alternatives to those. So just like we can exit watching CNN and we can start our own podcast or YouTube channel, or I can exit public education and create a homeschool pod, and we can talk about that. But while that helps the people that participate in it, and while it also helps maybe cushion the blow for the inevitable collapse that's probably coming, how do you see it actually changing the system, doing good as opposed to, you call it escapism, whatever. So like, how does it actually create change that way?
Well, my views have evolved and my strategy is ever changing, although I'm pretty sure this exit and build thing is the way, right? Like the Mandalorian, this is the way.
But is that through just getting so many people to escape the one system and then into a new system? So like if I'm here at my studio and I got a bunch of people here and I'm like, hey, you're too loud, you go outside, and hey, I don't like you, you go outside. And eventually I kick so many people outside that I have no control over them because now they have their own event going. And is it more like that?
Well, basically, I'm not interested in saving everybody. And I'm a compassionate person, but most of the public in this world, especially in the United States of America, they don't want the freedom that I'm seeking. So our hope is to find enough people, and I believe enough of us are already out there, if we just simply shifted our focus away from the reactionary nature of politics and social media towards the proactive exit and build strategy, working together with other people. I do believe we can achieve liberty in our lifetime, or at least we can set the stage for our children, or perhaps one generation beyond our children, to experience real freedom. It's going to take strength in numbers. We've already assembled over 35,000 people, many of whom are working together. Many of them are already opted out completely. My friend Derek lives in Mexico. He doesn't pay taxes. He doesn't have bank accounts. He exists solely on cryptocurrency. So it's possible. It's just going to take time, and I want to encourage people to adopt the long view of history and not to expect us to do this overnight. The faster that you do it with the true opt-out, which is true independence, which in some cases you may have to defy some of these unjust laws, the more risk you put yourself at. So I'm after a slow, methodical, gradual building of the systems and the institutions necessary to insulate us from harm once we do inevitably declare our independence. But like I said, not everybody wants to go along. People are frightened to death of the personal responsibility that comes with true freedom. I don't want to take away the comfort that they may find in government. Yeah. So we're really just looking out for people that think like we do. And again, hopefully we're able to create an alternative system that's appealing to those people because they see how happy, healthy, and prosperous we are.
Yeah, and that's such a great thing. It's like, and that's really, I think, the difference between the two models is like, let me go model this for you, and hopefully it's attractive enough that you want to join, versus politics wants to force you to comply, right? And that's the difference. Like, we're not trying to force anybody into anything, but like, hey, let's go show you this model that might be attractive. The other thing I would say is, of course, I agree with you on the fact that not everybody wants this. And so Samuel Adams said it doesn't take a majority to prevail, rather a small irate minority. And so we have to understand that the majority, the masses, they don't know what they want. They don't think about it. They don't care about it. They just go along with whatever. In Dr. Matthias Desmet's work on the mass formation psychosis, he talks about how there's 30% of the people that are just going to go along with whatever, and then 30% of the bottom that will always resist it. And there's that 40% in the middle. And so, if you look at the revolution of the United States, the American Revolution, it was a very small minority that pushed that revolution. And so I look at it like, to your point, most people aren't paying attention. Most people don't care. Most people don't want it. But we can go do this for the masses, right? I think we can influence it. But I would say the way that I view it is maybe a little bit bigger, in a sense where obviously I agree with you, but it's not just escapism. The way I see it is that, I agree that voting at the polls is a waste of time. But I do believe the most important vote we have is with our money. Mm-hmm. Maybe our feet as well, right? So California has a mass exodus. Florida is the main beneficiary, for example. We can vote with our feet. Tesla left California, they went to Texas. So voting with your feet, but also voting with your money. And so what I'm seeing, and I'm super, super positive about, is like BlackRock, the evil empire, if you will, right? Taking all these people's pensions and then basically using it against them, right? Pushing ESG policies and things like that. And now I think we have 6 states that have pulled all their money away from BlackRock. And now like 18 states are suing banks over ESG policies. And now BlackRock's on the defensive, right? Now they're like putting out PR. Whoa, 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 whoa. We're not as evil as you think we are. Now Vanguard, the number 2 pension fund, said they've now abandoned their entire net zero goals, right? And so just look at, we have corporations that really affect more change than policies potentially, right? So we have, the Coca-Colas and the Disneys that have gone woke, and they're listening to the Twitter mob, if you will. But when customers actually start pulling money away from them, that's when they'll really change. And so if we can pull money away from BlackRock, they'll be forced to change. If we can pull money away from T-Mobile and go to My Patriot Mobile, T-Mobile will be changed. And so I think by opting out, by taking our money with us, I think it can make massive change. I think it can happen actually really quickly.
Yeah, I'm with you for sure. And money talks. Money. There's a lot of power in money and where people put their money. So it's up to each and every one of us to do everything we can to live as consistently with our values as possible. I'm a big fan of conscious lifestyle design. So becoming aware of what pieces, what components of our life we are not in alignment with our integrity. And of course, the type of corporations you do business with has a lot to do with that. So, but again, against politics, this is like a culture change that's happening. And so I do see value in waking people up, communication, having outlets like you do with this radio show, social media promotion to try to shift the culture. And then oftentimes the businesses follow, and then ultimately politics follows beyond that. But what we're trying to do is I'm a very impatient guy as far as what I'm spending my time on. I do see that it's going to take a long term, but there's certain shortcuts we can take to experience greater freedom and prosperity in our lives right now. And hopefully enough of us are starting to get this. I think COVID kind of awakened a sleeping giant, to be honest. I think they overplayed their hand, and now there's more and more people that are questioning things, seeing the ESG scam, concerned about the central bank digital currencies than ever before.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. As I've kind of said, and I say every week on my show, is that it's really technology that changes the world more than anything. If you look back through thousands of years of history, small little technological shifts create massive change.
The printing press.
The printing press, obviously a big one, and there's lots of them. I mean, you can look at even like a little one, like, forever we've had horses. In the Roman Empire, they rode horses and got off to fight, and then they invented a stirrup. And then because of the stirrup, now they could actually fight on the horse. And that allowed the entire feudal system to get built up, because now a knight on a horse could now handle 100 serfs, right? But then 1500, you had the gunpowder revolution, and now one serf could take out 100 knights. And like that one technological shift changed the world. And I believe Bitcoin is doing that. But also we have CBDCs. And so we have technology, social credit score systems, health passport, checkpoints. And the CBDCs appear to be the last piece they need to bring all that together.